Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Odin Sphere, Leifdrasir. In the last episode, we basically started our quest to kinda find out what Velvet's up to, really. We want to make sure that she's okay, because we're Cornelius and we're concerned. And in the last episode, we basically just went through a bunch of different areas. I showed you a little secret there. And we're gonna actually just destroy this 5-star area, hopefully. No, actually, you know what? It's very likely that I'm not, because there should be 2 Unicorn Knights, my least favorite enemies in the game. And they are, in fact, incredibly obnoxious, but as per usual, as long as you keep them stunned, at least one of them anyway, they shouldn't pose much of a threat, because they like to backstep a ton. Alright, there we go. And as long as you can keep continuously killing the smaller fries, they don't even really pose that much of a problem. As long as you can keep the combo up, really. As long as you just don't get hit. Though, as long as you have this here, I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter much. As long as you can get them close together, you can continuously stun them forever. The problem is trying to get them in that position is a little bit more difficult than usual, just because of how many enemies are on screen, and their freaking backdashes are obnoxious. Though, you've got your own interesting dash as well that you can totally use whenever you like. So be careful. Use it as an avoid to also do damage, and you can also use it as a big damage dealer to kind of get rid of these smaller enemies, because overall they shouldn't pose much of a challenge as long as you're careful. Yeah. God, I'm getting a ton of crap. I just want to get him one level lower. There we go. What sucks is that those critical hits don't go to the next health bar if you, even if they have like 1 health. Or at least it doesn't appear that way. It doesn't feel that way usually. God, why are they summoning a bunch of tornadoes? Jeez, what's happening right now? There we go. I mean, I wanted to even these guys out, but now it's just turning out to be like a little bit like one-sided. Like I'm just destroying this one dude over here while the other guy's just like sitting around. Oh wait, no, never mind. He's coming from the literal ceiling. Okay, they have a shield. I forgot about that as well. But yeah, their whirlwinds are annoying. Their charge attacks are super annoying, but you just gotta be careful. And as long as you're careful, everything should be okay. Also, that big screen clear attack also helps a ton if they start to overwhelm the area with enemies, because it's a good way to just kind of clear out the ground enemies while simultaneously doing damage. It's a nice attack overall. I don't know why I haven't been using it as much. Maybe just because I've been fighting a lot of flying enemies recently for some reason. Oh god, he backstepped into every single extra attack. I love that so much. I love when you use an enemy's defense against them somehow like that. That's just fun. You know, I wasn't expecting to get an S rank on that, but I'm incredibly happy I did. And we got a free level out of the deal too. Plus we got another miracle fruit, which would give us a bunch of health, so... why don't we just actually start eating some stuff? I have a bunch of stuff left over from last time, might as well. Now, the miracle fruit, like I said before, it doesn't give you EXP, but it does increase your health a ton, so it's really worth using. I mean, most people would like to use it as like an emergency heal, considering it fully heals you, but overall, it's just kind of worth it just to use it for the health boost. Also, remember that when you have grapes, they kind of just become grape stems and just still take up space in your inventory, so that kind of sucks, but hey, whatever. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's actually make our way to the boss. I believe there's some small stuff in between. Did we get a key we needed? I feel like we got a key, but I don't actually remember. If not, we will have to go down and get it ourselves. We have no key. Okay, well, no, I guess we gotta go get it. Let's see, heading south, huh? What do we got down there? Just some small guys? Some small fries? Alright. I mean, overall, these guys are pretty simplistic. As long as you can keep them stun locked like this, they're not even really much of a challenge. I think that's kind of why in the previous version, something that I didn't really explain, in the previous version, your POW meter was actually the amount of attacks in total that you could use. So you're managing a bunch of resources completely differently than you are now. Now it's just kind of spam-like, but Before, it felt more strategic. Like, you have to be a lot more careful with what you're doing, otherwise, well, you'd be screwing yourself over, really. Alright, let's start putting some of these mixes together, because I feel like they're getting a little annoying. There we go. That should really free up some inventory space. And worst case scenario, we can also get rid of some of these blazes and all that crap, because we don't really need them. Though blazes are kind of really useful as explosives. They're basically bombs, really, when you think about it. Goodbye, ladies. Sorry about the pain. You know, I don't know if Cornelius is actually killing them, but I feel like he totally is. I mean, I don't know. Gwendolyn, it makes sense for her to be, like, kind of a little bit more murderous. But Cornelius is a prince who really has never seen combat before. Or maybe he has. Maybe he's had basic training, but it didn't... Oh, hey. And so instead of fighting the solo version by itself, we ended up fighting it... Oh, I'm sorry. Words. Instead of fighting the boss solo first and then the duo, I guess we fought the duo first and then the solo, meaning this is going to be even easier than usual. Especially considering he's actually lower level too, which is a weird touch. Somehow he's actually also done more damage to me than the previous two did, even though they were higher level. Though I gain it back incredibly quickly, so it's okay. Yeah, summon a bunch of dudes so that I can get all my magic back. Thank you very much. Except for this girl over here who somehow avoided that big whirlwind of attacks. Yeah, it's not that damaging. It's more of a it's like that move is more of a repositioning style move than it really is anything else. It doesn't really feel like it's a damage dealer, at least not at the beginning. Well, maybe that's just my interpretation of it. Stopping that charge is pretty much the most important thing for me. That charge is super annoying. He goes around the entirety of this looped stage and continues to charge you. He really does wreck you, so you have to be really careful. Reposition myself. Oh, well, I thought he was going to do a charge style attack, and he ended up doing magic instead. That was my B. But overall, these guys are really simple. Just beat the crap out of them until they're dead. Nothing really to write home about. Now that we got that key, we can actually go back, but I do want to make sure we go through every other area as well, just to make sure we're not missing anything like that. And hopefully we won't have to make it a triple episode, though it's very possible that it will be. So let's go get the let's get this formula first, whatever it is. It's probably a formula. I think it's going to be an alchemy formula. Unless we already got an alchemy formula, in which case it's going to be a recipe. But I can't remember what we ended up getting in the last episode, so who cares? My memory is garbage. You gotta put it in the trash. Boosh! Now the Silver Knights are a little bit more durable than their Green Knight counterparts. I'm not sure if they're designed this way, but I really do feel like the Elf Knights kind of remind me of grasshoppers for some reason, whereas the Elf Archers and magic users remind me more of like butterflies. It just feels appropriate, like thematically appropriate. They're very fairy. They're a woodland-like, I guess is the word. Yeah, it's a recipe. Figured. It's always one or the other. I was hoping for some lore, but I mean that's just me. I like lore. I think that's why I play Dark Souls in the first place. Just lore. Man, I should play Bloodborne again. That game is great. Alright, 4-star battle stage, not too bad. Did I get some Valentinian silver? I'm sorry, gold. Oh, it's more... Well, I guess that attack is more damaging when you have enemies that will actually follow the curve once they're knocked down. But against like bosses, it's really more of a repositioning tool, so you can get behind them easier or do a bunch of smaller things. It's also a pretty decent interrupt against magic spellcasters like that. So overall, I like it. It's a good ability. I'm gonna keep talking about it a lot because it's pretty much all I'm using. Though I should probably show off that new magic tornado I basically got. In fact, I might just use it just to show it off, just for fun. Because why not? Let's see, I believe it's called the Tempest. So it's a pretty good ability. Basically, you just throw a giant tornado. It's like throwing a cyclone out, but without the possible freezing effects. It's a great ability. It's fantastic. It's a good way to clear the field out a little bit while doing a directional attack. The problem is it takes a little while to charge up, so you could potentially end up getting yourself killed with it. But only really on the higher difficulties. So, we've got one last area, and then we're gonna be heading to the boss. Dude, I didn't even open the chest, and they're already attacking. You guys got a little hasty there, didn't you? They just really want some combat. They're just really in the mood to kick my ass. And it's too bad I'm wombo comboing them into next week, because holy crap. You know, I like this game a lot more than I like Dragon's Crown personally. Like, I like Dragon's Crown, don't get me wrong. Dragon's Crown's a great game. And it's really unique and really fun, but its 2D on 3D perspective hurts its gameplay a lot. Because it feels like you're controlling a piece of paper. Like, think of Paper Mario, right? You know that those characters are flat, and thus you know exactly where they are interacting with in the background. But the problem is, the background and foreground are harder to differentiate in in Dragon's Crown. And because of that, it makes it a lot more annoying to kind of hit your enemies at the right angle and keep them juggled and keep them, you know, basically comboed. It's just a lot easier when you have a straight 2D plane. I would have preferred that. Have a more zoomed out 2D plane as opposed to like more open 3D environment area with 2D sprites. It just doesn't work for me. Maybe that's just my opinion though. Hey man, that's just like my opinion, man. Alright, Decayed Key, nothing big. Free bone. Alright, I got a small climb. Wait a minute. Ha 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 ha. You thought I forgot, didn't you? You thought I didn't know. Nah, the Photon Crystal in this one is actually just behind this little vase, so nothing really too hard to miss. It can be forgotten about if you're not paying attention, but as long as you're a little bit savvy, you should be fine. Lightning Saber, incredible move, very, very useful. It's a buff, basically. It's an active skill. Store lightning to enhance action speed for a time, basically making you faster as well as do more damage, but I don't think it's something that it tells you. So because it's an active, I'm probably going to keep it out of my inventory because it's a lot easier to just cast it from the actual menu. So yeah, just max it out, master it real quick. Stun enhancement's pretty good. Gonna want to actually increase that as well. I don't know why I didn't, considering that stun enhancement's pretty much the most useful thing I have for Cornelius, especially that all of my abilities cause stun, but whatever, man. I do what I like, right? Streak Slash I can upgrade later. Stun Striker is going to be upgraded later. I'm going to actually throw the rest of this into my Cypher level because why not? It's not like it's that unimportant or anything. Let's see. Assault High. I need to finish that off as well. The Assault High. Spark Bolt and Plasma Circlet need to get some more levels. They need to get some more love overall, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Now, I've spent enough time. I've wasted enough time doing a bunch of stupid crap, so let's just get on. Let's get on with it.
I'm sure you've realized by now that escape is impossible. Now give me back that ring. I promised to protect it. I cannot let anyone have it.
This ring, it controls the cauldron. I must stop the cauldron. He is nearby right now.
Who are you talking about?
The cauldron's controller. The ring's owner. Valentine. You cannot control it again. It will repeat a tragedy.
You're making excuses in order to keep the ring to yourself. This is what you get.
Princess Velvet!
Puka, I beg of you, Please, get the ring.
The ring?
Protect it. Give it to no one.
Listen, give me my ring. This weapon is a magic bow. It only takes one shot.
You hurt the princess. You're acting like a child. I'll let it slide. Go away.
Don't take me for a fool. I don't fear you, Puka. I won't forgive you.
Mercedes. Anyway, as was previously stated, Mercedes is the one person who ends up fighting every single character. So, welcome Mercedes, the fairy princess. Now, she's incredibly annoying because she is an airborne enemy, and as you know, Cornelius' big advantage is actually on the ground, meaning you want to make sure she's on the ground as long as possible. And every time you see her charge up for an attack, try and use your sweeping blade. It's a very good idea, mostly for two reasons. One, she will always fire in the direction you are when she first charges. She can't change it to kind of facilitate her new direction. So as long as you keep doing that, essentially you gain infinite momentum. But not only that, you can also stun her, although it does take a bit more effort than it does for other characters. You also, because she's a cipher user, you want to make sure you gain all the ciphers back and don't let her charge. If you do, she will end up using more powerful attacks later in the fight, so be careful. Using the circle is a good idea because it keeps doing damage and keeping your chain up, as well as slowly stunning her. Though, because she's a boss and because she's a titular playable character, she does have higher resistance to most attacks. Oops. It didn't have any POW. I ran out of POW. Yeah, but yeah, she's got a little bit of a resistance to magic, so be careful. It's not very high. You'll notice that I'm still stunning her, like, at least reliably, but you can't stun lock her like other smaller bosses. She's a little bit more difficult than that. Anyway, like I was saying before, as long as you continue on both sides. Oh, dude, extra phosons. That's actually really useful. Give me that. Extra phosons just basically gives you free phosons. Plus, you can increase its level, giving it even more phosons. Whew! Okay, that was a lucky break there that I guarded right at the last second. Yep, there we go. I haven't used this move in a long time, but it's really good for getting rid of these airborne enemies. They're really annoying, and they can actually do a bunch of smaller damage over time. Though, to be fair, Mercedes is kind of going down slowly. You might want to stop charging. I'm just going to keep doing damage to you. I don't know why her attacks don't do as much damage as I thought they did. I totally expected them to be doing, like, much higher hits of damage, but really it's nothing major. I think the most annoying but useful thing is that she brings adds to the table. And those adds overall, you can just... Oh, come on. Broke my shield. They give you a ton of phosons. The problem is she can also gain phosons, meaning you killing them is sometimes to her benefit. So be careful. If there's another extra phosons, what? How many extra phosons did she drop? Holy crap, that's awesome. I guess you could also farm phosons out using her if you'd like, but that's not something I've ever tried, so whatever. Let's continue on.
She's unconscious. Princess Velvet, are you all right?
I see. My granddaughter yet lives.
Puka, do not come this way. Take the ring and escape.
No, that spirit I helped.
I must thank you. I managed to escape back to this world without being caught by that pale woman.
That crown. So you must be...
I am the King of Valentine! The cauldron is my heart, and the titral, my throne. The ring has been returned to its rightful owner.
Grandfather, please think about this.
You and your brother escaped the curse. You can't comprehend what it's like. This pain and suffering. Neither can Odin, nor the fairies, nor all of Titania. They must see hell firsthand.
You want the world to end?
Take a good look at me. All I want is oblivion. Yes, the world's demise. Just like the prophecies, the lid to hell opens. The time has now come.
It seems that all the rational thinking fell out of that bony skull of yours.
Damn, Puka. Do you think waving some magic sword from Titania around makes you a hero? Watch your mouth. Kneel, fool. I am your king!
You were never my king.
Ah! You fool! Intruding on us? This isn't over. You hear?
Princess.
Thank you. Thank you, Puka.
Princess Velvet. I wanted to see you. 'Tis me, Cornelius. No, I can't. She can't love me when I'm like this. I can't tell her. Just close your mouth and endure the pain. But for how long?
Oh, here you are. You jumped out of bed the instant you woke up. How do you feel? I think you should get more rest.
The princess, how is she?
Princess Velvet brought you back here.
Where is she?
She's not here right now. She was in a hurry to leave.
So before we end this episode, I will read this small little excerpt here. We citizens of Valentine have lost both our land and our true forms, but we cannot live out our lives hiding below ground. Collect all the magic coins and lift the curse. To fulfill our wish, we have all banded together to set out across the world to work, trade, barter, and bargain. Some serve ale to the barbarians of the Demon Lord. Some compete with greedy merchants, playing their trade in Titania. Some sweat and toil for narrow-minded fairies. Our beastly looks may win us no favors, but we don't have the luxury of complaining. One day we shall gather the coins and break our curse, and revive our land with the royal's heirs. This must be kept a Puka secret. A manifesto written to boost the morale of the Pukas. The people of Valentine are commonly believed to have perished with their nation, but they survived as Pukas and are working to revive it. So, with that, we also get our Photon Crystal. The first of our last, the Stun Striker. So, the Stun Striker is an passive ability. Increase damage against dizzied foes. So, you want to focus on this one ASAP. As soon as you get enough photons, you want to use it, since most, if not all of your abilities, pretty much stun enemies. So, with that, I will see you guys in the next one. So, see you later, everybody.